Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew and Price here, also known as Altered Zigo. And this is my humble abode, which actually also served as the inspiration for today's video. And essentially, this here in the center of this building is a giant mob spawner. And because this building is so large, and I was kind of messing around with different things, trying to get the mob spawn rate as high as I could in this area, I ran into some issues with tracking how many mobs I had fall through my little trap. Right now they're falling into lava. Eventually there's going to be an area set up to catch them. But basically, so I wanted to create a counter that would keep track of the number of mobs that have come through my system and that are spawning in my little mob trap area. So to do that, I started to mess around with different counting mechanisms, and I couldn't really find a good demonstration online for how to do this. In fact, I went through a couple of different attempts, and this was my first one, which was kind of flawed because I only had enough room for 9 digits, which was a serious issue. And basically how this design works is it uses these blocks. There are a total of 7 of them because there are 7 segments on the, I want to say an LCD screen, but the glowstone screen. And basically the sandstone counts for a 1 and the glass counts for 0, and basically it just, they're in sequence so that they tell the system which segments to light up and which segments not to light up. So as you can see here, it works, but it's kind of slow. So I went to decide to try to improve it and make it a little bit more compact, and this is the system that I came up with. It has some it's got a more refined design in the sense that the power is run through the center here. That allowed me to make this whole system a lot more compact, and it basically the blocks go around the circle, and it does the same thing over there. It just tells the system which panel to, or which bars to turn on and which ones to turn off. And it works pretty well. I'm happy with it. I mean, I think it's probably about as good as I can get with this type of system. Whoops. And the issue I'm running into is that because these have to be timed at a very particular sequence, otherwise it's going to jam up the system, it's never going to really be that fast. And so it really never got fast enough for me because it's still about 3 or 4 seconds for it to change the display. So I decided, this really isn't working. I also ran into a couple of other issues. I'm doing this on a multiplayer server, so anytime that we got lag, it would cause the whole system to bind up, and I would end up having to redo all of these blocks to get them back in the right sequence. Sometimes it would just be 1 row, sometimes it was the whole thing. It really became an issue. The other thing is, if I ever wanted to reset it, there's not a good way to do it because it can't go backwards. Come on. There we go. Because it can't go backwards, because the pistons aren't in the right place, and it has no sense really for where it is in the count. The only way to get it back to 0 is you have to go and you have to press this button or tell it to cycle, and it does have something that that activates once it hits 0 because I did this as a 2-digit display just for testing purposes, and so it can track where 0 is. But the problem is that doesn't really work. It's just slow to reset. So I decided after a while to go back to the drawing board, and this is my new system. And I had to say I'm really happy with it overall. For one, as you can see, the count right now is 1, and if I want to reset it, boom, reset. And the nice thing about this is it only has 1 moving part, which is this piston, series of pistons right here. There's a total of 10 of them. And essentially, all this does is it's a series of RS NOR latches. This is actually based on something that I saw Static do a while back for a train terminal, where it allows you to select which destination that you want to go to, and it simply resets all the others, all the other RS NOR latches whenever you press it. So thank you, Static, for that. But as you can see, every time I press a button, this block advances forward. And the whole purpose of this, or the raise block advances forward, I should say. And the whole purpose of this is simply so that it knows which one of these blocks it needs to send the signal to, because it's going to go in order. And so basically each time it receives a pulse, whichever block is raised is the one that gets the signal, and then it pulses through and it raises the next block, lowers that one. You'll see, it sounds kind of complicated, but I promise you this is actually, for a counting system, it's actually one of the better and easier designs I've seen. So like here, we will reset it again, and I'll kind of show you in action. And one of the nice things about this system is basically it can go as fast as Minecraft can with the block updates. You can see sometimes the block updates take a second, but basically, I mean, it's going at real time. It's about 1 second per change, which is a really, really nice, I think a really nice rate for this kind of thing, because it doesn't have to be, you know, exactly 100% accurate, but I wanted it to be reasonably fast. So, you know, and you can see as we're back here, it's just going to go through, raise one block, and then it resets and goes back. So it's a really cool system, and like I said, again, you just to reset it, you just go back here, you press a button, and there we are back at 0. So this is a much, much better way to do this. Because I saw a couple of videos, one that used minecarts for counting, which works, but isn't really all that effective. I think it's kind of, you know, clunky. This, it's actually pretty, for a counter in Minecraft, this is actually pretty small. And despite all what you may be thinking when you're looking at this, it's actually pretty easy to build. And I'm going to go through that in a second with you. Let me outfit myself appropriately with the correct colored blocks, and we're actually going to start doing that in a second, because as you can see, I've got a nice little area set up right over here. Real quickly, before I get too far into this, I did want to say thank you to Passow, or Passow. I guess it's Passow. I always want to call him Passow. But anyways, Passow, because he's the guy that hosts the server that I'm doing this on, and I just wanted to, you know, publicly thank him very much for letting me have creative on the server and be able to show you guys this design that I came up with. So give me 1 second, and I'll be back, and we'll start in the tutorial. Okay, so we're ready to go. This is a 10 by 13 by 5 area that I've cut out. Well, didn't actually cut out. I just boxed in with glass. Over here I have it burrowed into the ground, but for the purposes of this, I wanted you to be able to see all around the device, just to be able to see what all is going on. In case anyone I wasn't clear enough in the video. So I went ahead and raised it off the ground, put in glass, and we're going to start at the base here. So we're going to come in 1, and then we're going to come in 2 right here, and we're going to lay our first block. And basically what we're going to be building is this lower portion of the device. This is actually what's going to be responsible for controlling the pistons. It reacts to the RS NOR latches, and it's going to go through, and it will go and take the RS NOR latch. When it gets switched, it will automatically trigger the correct piston on the other side. So we're going to start with green, the dark green, and we're going to make a nice little L shape, and we're going to alternate, and we're going to go across with 5 of them, as you can see right there. So let's go ahead and do that. And this system, one of the nice things about it, as far as building it, is there's not a lot of timings to worry about. Like, there's only one delay in the whole system. So like here, when we put down these repeaters, we don't have to worry about setting a delay. We don't have to worry about the delay being right or wrong or whatever, which is kind of nice. So we're going to put our 4 or our 5 different little L shapes there, and then we're going to cut into the ground 3 spots. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to fill these up with this dark green wool or whatever material that you want to use. I'm trying to. In the past, I haven't used wool for these things, like when I've shown anything, but I'm going to try to do it here, and hopefully it's going to come out okay. So now we're going to put 2 pieces of redstone down on the ground on that green wool, and then a repeater, and then we're going to put 1 block at the end here. Whoops. There we go. And beside that, we're going to put a redstone torch. It helps if you don't break the bloody repeater that you're trying to place. Alright, so there we go. And basically how this is going to work is from the RS NOR latch, the torch is going to be up here. It's going to come down onto this redstone block. It's going to provide power to this. And then we're going to have a block there, and this is going to send the power down to this redstone wire. The redstone wire is going to go into here, and then that's going to turn off this redstone torch. Hopefully that's clear, but now we're going to go ahead and put these diagonal blocks right here, and we're going to then run them into these pink blocks, which are going to go ahead and provide power to the other blocks in the system, or to the other pistons in the system. So let's go ahead and do that. And this is doing the same thing as these other blocks, where we're basically going to have redstone torches above this, and they're going to provide power to this redstone dust that we're putting down right now. And then these pink blocks are going to be, yeah, I guess pink. I'll differentiate them, why not? I could go ahead and do them in red, but yeah, whatever. Alright, and let's put torches there. Good stuff. And now we're going to run these over here. And let me double check this, because I'm trying to... This is only about the 3rd time I've built this, and there's so many blocks, I kind of forget where some of this goes, because I know they kind of alternate back and forth. So off of that, alright. Let me double check. Yeah. Alright. So off of these, we're going to go boom, boom, and we need actually another row of these here, because this is where our power is going to run into, and we're going to do 2, because we've got to alternate back and forth because there's not enough room to do all this, and I'm going to use a black block for this other one. So basically this here is just going to zigzag, and with this we're going to run the power into the block using the repeater, and then it comes out the other side, and then we go into another repeater. So, and then we basically repeat this back and forth for these 4 blocks. So nothing too complicated. This is just simply here so that this doesn't interfere. So here we go. Boom, boom. There we go. And one more with the black block for the repeater to go through. Boom. And there we go. So now we have power reaching all the way over here to all of these. So now we're going to be running the purple blocks here, and these are just going to alternate back and forth. And as you can see, on top of the red blocks we're going to put a well, these actually should be green, but we're going to put a torch because we want these to be in an off state naturally, so because we don't want the pistons activating unless we need them to. So go there, and then let's put a torch on top of here. Pretty easy. Alright, now for these, for the red blocks, we're going to go ahead and put a block there, I do believe. And this is once again going to depower that. That is right, right? Yeah, okay. And now we're going to pull out our purple blocks. And these are what are actually going to, you know, carry the power to, well, yeah, I'll go ahead. Well, no, how about this? I'll keep that with green. Like I said, sorry, I haven't done this before, so you're going to have to bear with me as I kind of try to show you how to do this. Alright, so there we go. And now we're going to go ahead and run power off of these. So how this is going to work is the redstone torch that we just put on the green block is going to provide power to these through this block, and then these blocks are going to run power to the pistons vertically. So now we're going to use the powered block, the white wool for the powered blocks, and you're going to see here. There we go. Boom, boom. So the white wool is where the power is coming for the pistons. As I missed. There we go. And that's, now this is where we put our pistons. So we have those there, there, there. So there we have 9 pistons in total. Now, as I said before, there's a total of 10 pistons. In fact, if you didn't want to use, didn't have, I don't think I said this before, but if you didn't have sticky pistons, like if you didn't have the slime balls, you could simply just do this, use sand instead of doing it this way. So now we're going to run some pink wool on the interior here. And this is what's going to provide power to our 10th piston, which is going to be right here. So, and we're going to put another white block there. And how this is going to work is when, for the 0 state, okay, I have redstone dust. Whenever any of these blocks are powered, this torch will be unpowered. But in its natural state, with none of those other blocks powered, it's going to be up. And just for the sake of consistency, I almost always use sandstone as my active block, or like a block that I'm passing power through if I'm using it with a piston. So you're going to see here, we're going to line up there. And that is our level 1 of our device. So pretty easy. Like I said, it's not. It looks really complex, but it's really not that bad to build. There's not a lot of timings you have to worry about or anything like that. So now that we have that done, and in fact, do I need that? Yep, I forgot one. Whoops. So I'm going to fix this real quick, because it should let's see. Yeah, okay, so basically when you're doing this, it should start, because we're only doing 9 blocks since it's an odd number, it should start and end with the same number of, with the same color. So like with this, we're starting with green over here, and we should end with green over here. Alrighty. I thought that seemed a little bit too easy, but no big deal. Just fix it with another piston and a little bit more wool. There we go. And there we go. So alright. We're so now this stage is done, and we're ready to move on to stage 2. So let me get the different blocks of wool for that, and kind of, I want to double check this, make sure I get it right, because when I was building this, I messed it up a bit. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be with you in 1 second. Alright, so we're back, and we're going to start by laying our base layer for the RS NOR latches. And we're going to start with these pink blocks, and we're going to go 5 across. So, whoops, the joys of multiplayer servers. So we're going to go 5 across, and this is, the purple block is going to get in the way, but that's okay. I think you know what I'm, you're going to see that it's just going to be a solid platform, basically. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, good. Boom. And there we go. And now, over the center of this, we're going to run a center channel. This is going to be where the center redstone torch for the RS NOR latch is going to sit. So we're going to go ahead and put those there. And then we're going to run some repeaters into here. Don't think these get the delay. The one that does get the delay is that one there. So, and then we're going to run basically a cross on top of these. So with the brown wool. So we're going to be going across here. Give me back my flying mode. And then we're going to run redstone dust across all of these. And basically, this redstone dust is going to provide power to these and the blocks that go on top of it. So we have here, here. Well, I can just grab these. I don't have to aim at the torches anymore. All right. And then we're going to run some blocks right here. Oops. There we go. And some blocks right there. Alrighty. So, now we're just going... This is where the input's going to be coming from, as you can see from these black blocks there. So, we're just going to put redstone repeaters on either side of that channel raised set of blocks that we put here. So, we're just going to put repeaters there, there, all the way down the row. And this here is the only place that we put any delays on our repeaters. We're just going to delay it by 1 tick. And the reason for this is because it keeps sometimes there's issues with the 0 block wanting to come up because there's power cut for a second whenever it's changing over, and basically that delay helps impede that from happening. So I think that it all looks pretty good. And now we're going to run, you know, a U-shaped block right here, or a set of brown blocks here, because this is actually the RS NOR latch portion of the project. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And let me double check this. Yeah. All right. So now we're going to alternate redstone dust and repeaters. So there is going to be repeaters, and then we're going to have redstone dust here. And the reason that we have to do this is because we are going to be running them side by side, so we needed there to be a little bit of separation so that we can they won't interfere with one another. So for these, we're just going to put this torches right underneath the redstone dust. And for these, we're going to put them one up. And then we're going to put the redstone torches here. Pretty simple. Now we're going to go ahead and run this portion of it, which is actually what controls the RS NOR latch itself. And again, we need to alternate back and forth. So we're going to start off with a single repeater, then two, 1, then 2, and just go back and forth, repeating this lovely pattern. And then wherever we're only running one repeater, we just put some redstone dust there, and that will work. And now, alrighty, I think that should be good. And we need to run for these on the edge right there. Yeah, alright. Trying to make sure I get this right. Like I said, sorry, just haven't done this enough. Oops. See, right there. These blocks go wherever you have double repeaters. So wherever there's double repeaters, that's where we're putting these blocks here. And we're going to put redstone dust on top of those. And this is going to take the torch. Whenever these are activated, these torches will come on, and then they will provide power to this. And now we are just going to simply put some redstone torches on these, and some redstone torches, oops, as I get caught, on these. And when you're done doing this, you should see all of your pistons are active. So let's reset these real quickly. And there we go. So our little apparatus works because we can reset it now. And so now all we need to do is, for testing purposes, is we need to just allow ourselves, give ourselves a way to input into the device. And that's what this black wool is going to be for. This raised black wool here is going to be our input. Where our button's going to sit, and we're just going to put some repeaters behind it, like so. So now that we've done that, we should have a working this should work. So let's see. So we press the button, and it goes across. Hey. So up to this point, if this is what you have, you're doing things properly. So now that we have that, all we have to do is we have to now run a way for basically for us to input it, or for our counter to actually output to the display. And so that will be what we're doing in the next stage. Hopefully this part has been pretty clear, because I know it does seem very complicated, but it really isn't if you just go step by step. I hope I kind of showed that pretty well. But let me get the correct colored wool for the next section, and we'll start on that in a second. Alright, we are back, and we're ready to go. Alright, so for this one, we're just going to start by where you can see here where we have our redstone torches run through the center here. We're going to just go ahead and put some redstone torches across the top. And you don't actually have to worry about this back one, but I did it anyways, because there's never going to come, nothing's ever going to come off this last one. But for right now, let's not worry about that. Now we're going to go ahead and run some of this lime green wool across the top, and we're going to go a total of 4 high. So we're going to alternate with redstone repeaters, or redstone torches. And the wool. Oops. Alrighty. And basically, when you're when these buttons are being pressed, you can see that the torch that's above the currently selected item is going to light. That's how, or it's going to go off. And basically, that's how you're going to be able to tell that you know, all this is working properly. But let's go ahead and reset this. By the way, I just put this reset switch here temporarily for this. Eventually, you'll want to run it somewhere where it can be more easily accessed. So we're going to go ahead and do one more set across here with the torches. Oops. Alrighty. And then we're going to go and run one more channel up top. So there we go. And yeah, we don't need this one. So just get rid of it. Don't want to messing up anything. Alrighty. And now, along the sides, we're going to go and run some more green wool. And basically, how this is going to work is you're going, whenever there's a item that's being lit, these are going to be what are going to carry the redstone current to our actual display. So, for example, let's advance this to 1. So, if this were 1, we'd want the 2 right rows, or the upper and the lower right row, if you're facing it, turned on. And so we would enable, we'd put redstone torches wherever we want those items to come on. It'll make more sense in a second, but let me finish running this. And then we'll get to actually wiring up the display, because that's actually one of the easier parts of this. Now, because the top and the bottom row here are going to be the same polarity, these in the middle are going to be different. So for these, we're actually just going to fill it in, because we're not going to use redstone torches. We're actually going to use repeaters, because this is powered on here for the 1 state, so we'd want the current to go through that. So let's go ahead and fill these in. And we're going to do one more row up here. Now, because of how the display works, there's going to be a total of 7 segments. So you're going to have the top bar, 3 bars going down, and then 4 bars on the sides, because sometimes you need them turned off or on independently of one another, so you can't have them completely controlled by the same input. So that's that. Now that it's finished, we're just going to go ahead and run redstone dust all along the top here. And on all of these. So these are going to be the 7 where all of the input for our 7 for the different 7 panels are going to come from. So that's why we had to build it this way. So we have 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and then 1 up top. And the reason we don't have any redstone torches up top is because that's how we're going to be able to turn them on or off, if based on what's going on with this. So let's now go ahead, and I guess we'll start by wiring up the display. Alright, now the display, it depends on the size. I built this probably too large. Running it this big means you're going to have problems updating all these blocks. But for this demonstration, I just went ahead and created something that would be able to hide everything. You don't have to make it this large. In fact, I would probably recommend that you run it smaller. Now, how these work is you're going, whichever one that you, whichever redstone lamp you run these into, you're going to get a total of 3. Because it's going to be you're running power into this, and then it goes to the one connected to it. So, for the top right bar, we're going to go and we're going to want it running into this block here. So we're going to run our torches right here, so that they are going to run through. And so there we go. Pretty simple. So simply so we can avoid having to deal with multiple torches and providing power to multiple places, what we're actually going to do here is we're going to come off of the wall a little bit, and you can run this a multitude of different ways. You don't have to run it this way. This is just how I did it for this video. So let's do that and that. there, and we're going to put 2 torches there. And so now to turn this off, we would just simply turn power on to this block here. So if we want to turn this off, we just do that, and it powers it off. Pretty simple. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat this on this other side here. And like I said, you can do this a multitude of different ways. However works best for you. I mean, it kind of depends on the size of the display, how you run this. And you don't have to use repeaters here if you're doing this on like a survival server, which I think probably is the likelihood of that's kind of low. But, you know, if you are, more power to you. So there we go. We have those 2 lit up. Now for this, let's see. We've got 7 across, so that's kind of an odd number, but we'll make it work. We're going to run these into here so that it'll light up the corners, because there are numbers where, like if you have a 5 and you don't have this on the side, you want to make sure that you're getting power to all of them. And let's do that. Boom, boom. And we can just do that. And how we're going to run this so that it doesn't interfere, we're just going to put a blue block there, and torch. So there we go. And just so we can test this, to make sure that everything is working properly, we're going to go ahead and put some switches into our inventory. And that way we can power these all off if we want to. Now, you're going to see me reverse this pattern on the bottom with these. I just put these up higher because they're the inputs for them, because it works a little bit better when you're running this. So, all right, we got our bar across, and let's now, I think we can do the same thing here. Now, just because of the size of this display, the running this to the bottom is going to be a pain, but oh well. Now, how I did this, and you can do it a couple of different ways, but how I did this is with all of these, you can see that I'm running torches so they're powered natively. And with the only one that we're going to do differently is this middle one. And the reason for that is I want 0 to be the normal state. So like if nothing is powered, I want it to show a 0. And that's what we're going to be doing here. So that's why you don't see me run a torch to this. All right. And let's do the same down here, but this time we'll run a torch. Boom, 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 boom. And oh yeah, we need a block there, and there we go. It's all lit up. Yippee skippy. Alrighty, and let's throw something on here. So that works. And we want that one to be run into right there. Yeah. And then right there. So for these, we're just going to do that. We're going to make them one longer, so that I can drop this one down so that it'll be within torch range. All right. No, I don't want to delay. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to go through some switches on here. We're going to turn these off. Oops. Wrong one. There we go. So there's our off state. So our normal state, once we're done with all this, is going to be this. So if everything is left to its own devices, we're not providing any secondary power. Oops, forgot the top one. In fact, I can just break these. So, with everything left to its own devices, it will naturally display a 0. And this is exactly what we want it to do. Because basically there is no state for 0. So if everything is unpowered, we want it to be 0. So let's start with 1. So let's make our selection. And I don't know if I'm going to do all this on video, because I think you can probably figure out how to, once I show you how this works, how to make all this go. But, you know, for right now, let's just see how things... I'm going to just show you how to do a couple of the numbers. So basically, we now have the device set to 1, because this is raised at what's technically the 2 position, but it's actually the state for 1. So for 1, we want everything powered off but this sidebar. So at the 1 position, we're going to go ahead and run power there, because we don't want the top bar. Stupid son of a motherless goat. Arg. I swear this thing is so choppy with fraps running. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So there we go. We have the top powered off. The middle is powered off naturally. For these, in my other demonstration, I just did it in these 2 at the top are going to be top left and top right. So we're going to run it into this block here. Boom. And you can see it's pretty easy to do. So, alrighty, and then just to avoid any issues, because sometimes you do have issues with repeaters, we're just going to throw a couple of repeaters here and there, just to prevent things from going wrong. And now to power off the left-hand side of the display, we're just going to throw a torch there. So there we go. And now we're not going to worry about the right-hand side, we're going to do the bottom left. And for the bottom left, I just use these bottom blocks because, well, they're the most convenient. And I'm lazy. Alrighty. Boom. What am I catching on? Alright, there we go. And again, because we want the bottom left depowered, we just... Why isn't that working? I swear, sometimes this game... Alright, there we go. So now we have the bottom left to powered off. And now the only thing we have to worry about is the center one, center bottom. And for these, we're going to use these rails. And these are the only ones that are a little bit different. Because you have to... because the power is inverted at this level, we're going to actually use repeaters as opposed to torches to provide power. And there we go. So let us throw a repeater here. And let's throw a repeater there. So there we go. We have the number 1. And I promise you, once you get all of these different mechanisms run there, or all these different redstone paths run. This is pretty fast. It goes through it pretty quickly. So now that we have one set, let's press the next button. And we have our 0 again because it doesn't know what to do here. And we've got to do 2. So for this one, let's start with the mid bar because we're going to need that powered for this. So we're going to run our redstone power here. And like I said, this one is the only one that is different from all the rest. So like on all the other ones, you're using power to turn them off. With this one, you're actually using power to turn it on. So that's the only thing that you have to remember. Now you can, if you want to, you can run this differently than how I ran it. I just, it may become more complicated once you try to do 0. Alright, so now we have an 8, but we don't want an 8, we want a 2. So we need the top right powered off, which, this is what I was saying. It gets very simple. So top right, powered off. Boom. Bottom left, powered off. We need to run a power channel for that. So let's do that. Alright, come on. Get in range. Alrighty. Alrighty. I'm gonna have to run a redstone repeater here. So let's block that, or break that. Redstone repeater. Boom, 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 boom. And so we want this here. Swear, I don't know if this is a spoutcraft issue or something else, but I keep having that issue. But there we go. We have our number 2. And now all we need to do is do this all across the row for every single number. And, you know what, I'll go ahead and I may do some of these on camera. I haven't decided, but let's see. So for this, we're going to do 3. So we want the repeater there. Boom. And we want top right, top right, top left, bottom left, powered off. This is a lot simpler if you label these. On my actual unit, I did that. I'm not doing it here. I do have the signs, but there we go. We got 3. So let's go for 4. Hopefully this is not too boring. And you can see which ones are lit just because, you know. Oops. So let's see. We need the top powered off for that. You can see which ones are activated simply because the torch up here is turned off. So we got that. We needed the middle bar activated. I swear I know how to count properly. I'm trying to reverse it in my head, and we need the bottom left. And it becomes an issue. Boom. There we go. Oh, forgot the bottom bar too. Oh well. So which one are we at? Don't give me a delay. There we go. So there we go. Number 4. Wah ha ha ha. 5. Wah ha ha ha. Middle bar. Alright, and then for 5 we need top right, bottom left. Powered off. Top right. The reason that I do these where you're turning them off as opposed to turning them on is because there's usually more active in the on state. Why did that not work? Oh, because I don't have a channel run there. Haha. Oh, yeah. Oh, where do I have to run this? Alrighty. Are we happy now? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. There we go. Number 5. Number 6. This one's really easy because it's just one on, one off. So, one on, top right is off. 6. Set. Huh? What just happened there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I put that backwards. Ay, ay, ay. See, YouTube people, you should have told me that. This is all your fault. Okay. 6. Oh. See, this is when we have the delay. If you don't have the delay, that's what happens. The delay simply keeps it from resetting itself. Because it's resetting all the other RS NOR latches, all that delay does is simply keep it from resetting the whole system, which is what I was doing each time. Hey, I don't like those types of things happening on camera, but at least you know what's going on. Like, what to look for in case you do have that issue. I can break this too. Okay. There we have a 9. So we're done. Whew. Hopefully that was not too bad. So, alright. Basically, for testing this now, we're just going to create a very simple clock. And I'll kind of show you how you'd feed an input into it. You'll probably want to move the reset switch so that it's somewhere a little bit more accessible than down there. But, you know, that's up to you. I'm not going to show that because I have no clue where you'd want to run it. I put it at the front of the sign, but it doesn't really matter. It's just wherever you want to put it. So, let's see. For this, we're just going to do a simple clock. Because, let's see. We're going to go run power there. Actually, we'll run power there. Boom. Boom. Alrighty. Can I do this? Or I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And then we're going to run power on top of here. There we go. We have a clock. We're going to put a 4 delay on that and then 1 delay there. That works. And now we should get a count. And there you go. You can see it working. So, hopefully that didn't take forever. Sorry about this video being so long, but I kind of wanted to, like I said, I haven't done these before, so I just wanted to show you how to do this. If you were going to run a secondary display, I can show you how to do that real quickly before I go. So I'm going to go set up for that, and then I'll show you how to link 2 displays together so that they count. Alright, I'll be right back. I haven't tested this, but so let's see how it goes. If it doesn't work, you'll probably never see this. So let's go. Oh, darn it. I did those backwards. Alright, so I'm back. I fixed, initially when I did this, I accidentally reversed the order of the numbers because I wasn't thinking when I did things. And, of course, I break the button. Alright, so the reset works. Yay. So we can reset both panels from the same button, which just comes back behind here, and then it goes into both of the redstone areas for the reset. So that was pretty easy to wire up. Now, for the actual counting mechanism, basically, since this is going to be where it's like the input will come into when it's at 9, we're just going to run power off of here, run it over here, put the freaking relay in the right position, and it's going to then go into here and tell it to count appropriately. So I haven't tested this, so we'll just see how it works, and if it doesn't work, you probably will never see this. So let's go. So it seems to be working. Let's see, make sure that it gets to 10 and then goes to 11 and all of that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to run this. I mean, it's not a very difficult thing. And there we go. So we got 10, 11, 12, boom. Pretty cool. And this is going pretty quickly. I mean, if I wanted to, I could remove this delay, I think, and it would be okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Like I said, the biggest limitation with this type of a system is actually how quickly the blocks update. That's partially due to the length of the redstone and some other stuff. But you can see that it's actually not too, like, it's not bogging down. Given that I'm, you recording with fraps in the background and everything, I think this is pretty good. I mean, especially given the size of the signs, which can probably be seen from space. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. And like I said, these are modular, so you can just run as many as you want together. Like if you wanted to connect a third one, you would just simply, do like that, and then run it over to wherever you wanted it to go to. So I mean, that's pretty cool. So once again, this is Andrew Price, also known as Altered Ego, and hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully you can get some use out of it. If you have any questions or if you run into any issues, please let me know in the comments below. And, thanks once again, PaySal, for allowing us to do this on your server. Because, it's really cool to be able to mess around with this type of stuff and share it with others. So, once again, this is Andrew Price saying good night and good gaming. Bye.